بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran Kareem, at the end of Surah Al-Fajr, Allah says, Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutma. And in this ayat, Allah is addressing a certain type of individual, and the word Allah uses is an-nafsul mutma'inna. That means the soul that is contented, a contented soul. Ulama have given different meanings. One meaning is this: it's a soul that has completely accepted the taqdeer of Allah. Whatever Allah decides, what we speak of in tasawwuf, they call it rada bil qada, to be pleased with the taqdeer of Allah. So whatever Allah decides, you are so pleased with that you wouldn't want anything else to have happened. If Allah decides that my son must die, my daughter must die, my mother must die, if that was what pleased Allah, you wouldn't want anything else to happen. So that is Nafse Mutma'inna, a contented soul. But mainly, they say this ayat, when a mu'min, a good person, a good Muslim dies, or when he's dying, then the malaika come and they read this ayat to that person, and they say, Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutma'inna, irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiya. You must return to your Allah in such a way that you are pleased with Allah and Allah is pleased with you. And then that nafs comes out, the nafs, the soul of the believer. So we make dua, Allah make us among those people who have nafse mutma'inna, whose souls are contented with whatever Allah has decreed. Hasan Basri rahimahullah says that this contented soul is a person, and there's a sign for this: before he dies, he is totally at peace with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he looks forward to meeting Allah azza wa jal. He's happy to meet Allah. So this is also contentment. Now when a person has got worldly connections and you still got a lot of things in the dunya to do, you've got hopes that you haven't yet achieved, ambitions, then you are not content. A contented person is one who is ready for his maut at any time. So this ayat, the malaika read this for the dying person. They say this ayat was revealed. There are two incidents mentioned. One is Hazrat Uthman radiallahu anhu, when the famous incident of that Bir Ruma, which he bought, there was a well. When they came to Medina, the Sahaba, the water of Medina wasn't so fresh and sweet. But there was one well which was owned by the Yahud. So Uthman radiallahu anhu bought it and he made it waqf for the Muslims of Medina. What a great effort by Hazrat Uthman. So Allah revealed this ayat, Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutma'inna. It was referring to Hazrat Uthman. Another incident given is about Khubayb ibn Adi radiallahu anhu. When he was about to be executed, then he made a 2 rakat salah. They say he was the first person to introduce this practice of reading salah before being executed. So he read this 2 rakat salah, and then he was killed. They chopped his neck off. But then Allah revealed this ayat, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was informed that this ayat was recited for Hazrat Khubayb radiallahu anhu, Khubayb, when he passed away. So that's about the revelation of the ayat. There's incidents about how pious people died, and this verse was recited for them. When Hazrat Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, when he passed away, Hazrat Ibn Abbas died in Taif. Now we know Taif is about 75 kilometers from Makkah Mukarramah. Many of the Sahaba, in fact thousands of them, did not die in Medina or Makkah. They died outside. Some of them died, they say, in Jordan and the surrounding area. There are about 10,000 graves of Sahaba Ikram. So what were they doing there? We would love to die in Medina, in Makkah. They were born there, they lived there all their lives. They went out to make jihad and to spread the deen of Allah. and they gave their lives there. So Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma was in Taif, and he passed away there. One of his famous students, Sa'id ibn Jubair radiallahu anhu, says that we gave his ghusl kafan and we brought him. We were about to read the janazah salah. As we were giving the kafan, suddenly from somewhere a beautiful bird came, which we hadn't seen ever in our lives. No one had seen such a beautiful bird, and it entered his coffin. When we looked for that bird, it was nowhere to be seen. So they wrapped it up, the body, put it in the qabr. That bird, somehow or other, it went into the coffin of Ibn Abbas and it never came out. After they filled the qabr with sand, while they were now reading whatever du'as there, they heard someone read this ayat, Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'inna irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiya. They looked around, they couldn't see who was reading this ayat. So Allah Ta'ala sent a malaika to read and show this is the status of this sahabi that died. Then at the end of this ayat, further, the next two ayats, Allah says, فَدْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي وَدْخُلِي جَنَّتِي. Allah is saying that you must join my servants and enter into my Jannah. So Allah tells this good mu'min, the pious believer, that you come to Allah is pleased with you, you are pleased with Allah, and you're going to join my pious servants in Jannat. So there are many of the awliya Allah, they say, one particular Buzruk, he says that when I read this ayat, after reading this ayat, I achieved, or I had much more keenness for Jannat. I was more eager to go to Jannat because I'll meet all my friends there. People that died, people that I loved, they passed away, I'll meet them in Jannah. So that's why if we lose loved ones, remember, I said last week that we meet the ruh, the souls of the people that passed away. So when people die, remember, it's not that they're gone somewhere where you won't hear of them ever after. They're going to a different world, and it's like you, a person that's crossing a bridge. So he crosses the bridge, he's on the other side. As long as you don't cross that bridge, you won't meet him. You won't even see him. So we also have to cross that bridge of Maut, and then we'll meet all the people that passed away, parents, whoever, especially the pious people. And what a greater ni'mat than this, that you can meet Allah, meet Rasulullah alayhi salam and the Sahaba. Allah Ta'ala grant us the tawfiq to achieve this. Ameen. Subhanallah.